Take a slow, deep breath in and a long, gentle breath out. Close your eyes. Picture an old railway station at night. The air smells of steam and polished wood. In the distance, a soft whistle. It's the train. Your train. We are in no hurry. There is no schedule to catch. We simply step into a carriage that is never in a rush. Tonight I will tell you a story about how people slept on the very first trains. About wooden benches, the warmth of kerosene lamps, and the rhythm of the wheels, rocking you to sleep like a lullaby. Let go of everything that happened today. Leave all your worries behind on the platform. The train gently begins to move, and we are starting our journey into the coziest sleep. Picture the year 1830. The world was just beginning to discover what a railway could be. The first passenger trains seemed like a miracle, or maybe a challenge to nature itself. People were afraid that fast travel would make them dizzy, that the locomotive would explode, that they wouldn't be able to breathe at such speed. But the fear quickly faded, because trains offered something new. The chance to travel from one city to another in hours instead of days. But there was one problem. At night, the trains kept moving. They never stopped. And the passengers still needed to sleep. The first carriages had no sleeping places, just hard wooden benches. People sat all night long. Some dozed off with their heads resting on their own bags. Others used their coats as pillows. Many just sat with their eyes closed, waiting for dawn. A journey could last a full day, sometimes longer. And then someone thought for the first time, what if we made it possible to lie down on a train? What if there was a bed? Small, uncomfortable maybe, but a place to stretch your legs and close your eyes. That thought was the beginning of the sleeping carriage. But we will talk about that a little later. For now, just picture that old train, the rhythm of the wheels, the night sky outside the window, and the people who were trying to fall asleep to that rhythm for the very first time. They did not know that in just a few years, trains would become homes on wheels, with beds, curtains, lamps you could turn down. But that was already very close, and then came the moment when someone said, enough. Enough of sitting on hard benches all night. Enough of waking up with a sore back and swollen feet. That someone was named George Pullman. He was not an engineer or an inventor. He was just a businessman from America. But one night on an ordinary train changed everything. Pullman was traveling in a third-class carriage. He tried to fall asleep. He could not. The bench was too hard, too narrow, too uncomfortable for sleep. And then he thought, what if I build a carriage designed specifically for the night? Not for sitting, not for carrying goods, for sleeping. In 1859, Pullman built his first sleeping carriage. It was called the Pioneer. Inside there were no hard benches. Inside there were soft seats. And at night, those seats turned into comfortable beds. Passengers no longer sat all night with a bundle under their heads. They lay down, covered themselves with a blanket, and fell asleep. The carriage was finished in wood. Brass lamps decorated the walls. Heavy curtains covered the windows. There was even a small ventilation hole to keep the air fresh. It was a revolution. People were willing to pay more, much more, just to spend a night in such a carriage. Pullman understood. The sleeping carriage was not just transportation. It was a hotel on wheels, a place where the journey became as enjoyable as the destination. Soon his carriages appeared on all the major railroads of America, and then Europe. But the most important thing happened at night, when passengers could finally stretch their legs, turn down the lamp, lean back on a pillow, and listen to the wheels softly clicking somewhere far below. For the first time, the train became a place people wanted to return to, not just to travel, but to sleep. The comfort of those first sleeping carriages was nothing like modern trains. There was something special about it, something warm and deeply human. And now we will step inside to see how exactly these people slept, how their beds were arranged, and what small joys kept them warm during the night journey. Here it is, the sleeping carriage of the late 19th century. Along the walls are wooden benches. They do not look like modern seats. They are straight, simple, but in the evening, mattresses, pillows, and thick wool blankets appear on them. Above each bench is an upper berth. It is attached to the wall with leather straps. During the day, the berth is folded up and almost invisible. At night, it is lowered. 2 sleeping places, one below, one above. Between the benches is a narrow aisle. A person can barely pass, but that does not matter, because in the evening, no one walks. Everyone is getting ready for sleep. Brass lamps hang on the walls. They give a soft yellow light. Before sleeping, the lamp can be turned down, very low, almost like a night light. The windows are covered with heavy curtains. They block the light from outside, and they do not let anyone see in. A small but important secret of comfort. Now imagine a passenger getting ready for sleep. He takes a nightshirt from his suitcase or a pair of pajamas. In those days, people did not sleep in their daytime clothes. Sleeping on the train was a ritual. He changes, climbs onto his berth or bench, adjusts the pillow, pulls the blanket up to his chin. Someone reads a book by the faint light of the lamp. Someone just looks at the ceiling and listens to the rhythm of the wheels. The conductor walks through the carriage. He checks if everyone is ready for sleep, helps to lower the upper berths, adjusts the curtains. Then he turns off the large lamp in the aisle. Only the small lamps at each seat remain. They glow faintly, just enough to not be completely dark. And then, silence falls. Only the steady rhythm of the wheels can be heard. Sometimes, a distant locomotive whistle. Somewhere ahead, several carriages away. The carriage sways gently. This swaying is like a cradle. It rocks you to sleep better than any medicine. The passenger closes his eyes. He feels the warmth of the blanket. He hears someone breathing nearby, on the next bench, or on the berth above. No one is talking. Everyone is already asleep. The train continues its journey, through mountains, through forests, through the night. And inside, a small, warm world, where several dozen people sleep to the same rhythm, like one big, tired family. And this is a very cozy feeling. The feeling that you are not alone, but at the same time, no one disturbs your sleep. All that remains is to listen. The wheels, your own breath, and the soft, warm nothing behind closed eyelids. But let us go back 1 hour. Before all the lamps were turned down, the sleeping carriage has a special kind of quiet bustle. Soft, calm, almost like home. Someone takes a thermos of hot tea from their basket. The lid opens with a soft hiss. Steam rises toward the ceiling. No one is in a hurry to drink. The tea is hot. You can hold the cup in your hands, warm your palms. Next to them, a small book in a leather cover. Someone is reading by the light of the lamp. Slowly, line by line, their eyes grow heavy. The same line is read twice, 3 times. Then the book closes. The bookmark stays in the middle until tomorrow. On the next bench, 2 people are talking quietly. They do not know each other. They met an hour ago. They speak of small things, the weather, which station comes tomorrow. Their voices are low, almost a whisper. There are children sleeping in the carriage, no loud noises. Someone takes a small sachet from their bag, lavender, puts it under the pillow. It helps with sleep, an old, trusted remedy. A woman by the window takes out her knitting, 3 rows. Then she puts it aside. Her eyes close by themselves. The knitting needles make a soft sound as they fall to the floor. No one picks them up. The conductor will find them in the morning. A man takes off his boots, places them next to the bench, puts on wool socks, warm, soft, like home. He sighs with relief. The conductor brings another blanket for an elderly woman on the upper berth. She is afraid it will be cold at night. The conductor smiles, adjusts the blanket, wishes her good night. In the vestibule, someone is smoking, alone, looking at the stars. The train moves through a field. The moon hangs low, almost touching the earth. The man puts out his cigarette, returns to the carriage, lies down. The blanket is already waiting. The children on the upper berths are already asleep. They do not need tea or books. They only need the rhythm of the wheels and the gentle swaying. It rocks them faster than any fairy tale. The carriage slowly grows quiet. The tea is finished. The book is closed. The knitting is put away. The conversations have faded. Only the lavender under the pillow remains, the warm socks, and the feeling that this evening turned out right. Quiet, kind, cozy. Time to sleep.